It's Alexis. Welcome to your Tree of Life reading. So, if you don't know what a Tree of Life is or the Kabbalah, is the best way that I can explain it is sort of like a map of all the levels that you've passed, how many times you've passed each level, how many times you need to pass each level to get it activated, and then also just like, oh, well, you've passed this level, but you're off balance with this level. So maybe working on both of these together in this life is important to get those leveled out. This is pretty much your soul's journey. This is your soul's map. This is what your soul has accomplished outside of this life, um, previous lives, whether it was a water droplet or a fairy or whatever. This is what your soul has accomplished. So right here, I do have your Tree of Life right here, just to make sure that I'm looking at the right information, getting the right information, and really looking at your lines and the spheres or the sephiroths that are being connected, so I can give you the best information possible. And then right before this, I did jot down some notes as well, just to make sure that I have the correct things narrowed down, that I'm really sticking to the not template, but just keeping myself accountable for like what I want to do for this reading, to make sure you get the best and most accurate information and orderly process, because I can be all over the place. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into your main mission. So the main mission is basically what your soul decided it wanted to accomplish, what it felt it was important in this life. um, this is what really is going to build character. This is what's going to give you your drive. This is what's going to give you your passion and things like that. So just going on to your Gabura, your sphere or your Sephiroth of power, and then your Chesed, your sphere of love. These two are connected by your main mission line. So with each level, there's like a minimum of how many times you want to pass that level in order for it to be really activated and really play an active part within your soul's journey. And so for both your Goburua and your Chesed, you have passed them both 6 times out of the minimum of 4. So you're actually excelling in both of these, which is great. This means that your soul really decided that, hey, this is my purpose. Sort of like how in Sims, you know how they have those life aspirations. Like, of course, they have the hobbies, the things they like, but they have that main thing, like maybe your sim has like the family aspiration and wants to grow a family tree, or has the money aspiration and wants to be wealthy, or food aspiration, things like that. This would be your sim aspiration. So when I first saw this, with your Gabura and your Chesed, your power in love, I thought of this song Power of Love by Celine Dion. So the first thing I got from that was finding power within the love that you give, because love is a very powerful thing. While we are told, love unconditionally because Source loves unconditionally, while you don't want to place conditions on love, you still want to be able to place boundaries, and you can still love people open and freely while still placing boundaries for yourself. And for me, that's where I'm getting from this for you specifically, aligning with your energy, your willpower. So Kabura, it's just not talking about power like Harry Potter power. It's talking about your willpower, how you react in social settings. Again, going back to placing boundaries. Um, and then you have just said your love. Again, this isn't just like, oh, romantic love. This can be self love. This can be platonic love. This could be familial love. This is how you care for others and how you give that out to others. You're giving and receiving of this energy. So what I'm seeing is really just finding the balance between the two, which you have great balance. Balancing those two out greatly. But your soul does want to continue to work on that, continuing to strengthen um, your boundaries within yourself and how you react in social settings. So I feel like that maybe have been like a sore spot for your soul a few times, whether it's in this life or others. That has been a bit tricky because while Kaburu can be placing boundaries, the power to have you have within yourself, it could also be an aggressive energy when not balanced correctly. Going on to your main mission, but like the hidden one. So this one is more of secondary. This is more in the back of your mind. This is more subconscious. So while your soul would like to work on this, it is not the main mission that they are focused on right now. Now, if they can get the main mission out of the way, handle with checked, marked off the box in this life, and still have time to do the hidden one, go right on ahead. But right now, this is your hidden one. Your Yesod, your Sephiroth of ego, and then your Netzach, um, your sphere or Sephiroth of emotion. So again, like I mentioned, there is a minimum of how many times you really want to pass each Sephiroth or each level for it to really be active. And right here, the minimum for your Netzach is 5, but you've only passed it 4 times. And then you have your Yesod, the minimum being 4, and then you've passed it 6 times. So you're excelling with your Yesod, but with your Netzach, your emotions, not so well. So what I'm getting from this is sort of like what I mentioned a bit earlier. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it. It's like when you have a weight and you put 20 pounds over here, and then you put 40 over here. Well, you've already put too many over here, so now you're unbalanced over here. So now you're unbalanced. It's putting more weight on one side than the other. Whereas if you put 40 on each side, then you have equal amount of energy and you're not straining your body. With this, with your Yesod, your ego, this is giving hidden desires, so fears, uh, sexual desires, desires that are more less out there. And then again with emotions, happy, sad, how you convey those emotions, how you show those emotions. So I see that you're still working on that, the emotion aspect. Now it's not as weak. You're like literally one away from like hitting that mark. But with that, I feel like you tend to disconnect yourself from them sometimes, and disconnect, but also you don't allow yourself to really freely entertain certain desires. Um, so with this, I got be yourself. Um, a lot of things when it comes to this is, connect to your higher self, connect to your higher self, focus on your higher self. While that is the main mission, I feel that people leave out that you cannot really connect to your higher self without dealing with your ego first. And with ego, that takes a lot of emotion because this is like you have your person, then you have your higher self, and then you have your ego. And to me, the ego is like the angsty inner teen that you have, the one that wants to rebel, the one that wants to like go out, have fun, party, things like that. It wants to be reckless. With this, I'm getting connect to your sacral chakra or even connecting to your solar, being creative with your emotions, finding a outlet for that energy built up behind the ego. So like with the sacral chakra, this is more of like creating life. I'm getting like creative life energy, so creating life within yourself. Whether it's more of like a maternal creativity, so creating a family, offspring, but this could also be, again, creating the life that you want for yourself. So building blocks of manifestation, I feel, could be it. Sorry, I'm still recovering from a flu. Um, and then going into your Netzach, your emotions, finding a healthy outlet for those desires, whether it's sexual, creativity, hidden desires. Maybe you like to draw. Do that. Sorry. Um, Going into your secondary mission, you have three. Three, yes. So, first, starting off with what your secondary mission is going to signify, this is more of a mission that's going to be fulfilled um, during your childhood, during your early years as a kid. This is the mission that's going to be handled first thing off the bat, so that you can spend your adult time focusing on that main mission to really get your soul past that finish goal, so you could get that trophy. Um, so starting off, the first thing that I saw was your Bina, your sphere or your Sephiroth of creativity, in your Chokmah, your sphere or Sephiroth of wisdom. So going back to like the levels, the minimum for both of these are 4. You've passed your Bina, your Sephiroth of creativity, 7 times, and your Chokmah, your sphere of wisdom, 6 times. So pretty good. You're excelling in both of them. What I got from both of these is your manifestation and your drive. Connecting those two together, I feel like the Chokmah is what gives you that drive, that push, that energy. The manifestation, that's the vehicle. Okay. Or no, you're the vehicle. You are the vehicle. And your destination is your manifestation. You want to manifest. You want to get there. Your chokmah, your wisdom, your drive, that is the gas. That is the fuel of what gets you there. So finding that fuel to manifest. Your body is a generator. What you put into it, what you speak into it, is what is going to come out. That is going to be the outcome. So as a kid, you could have been really creative, had a very imaginative mind, um, building palaces within your head. I'm getting connect back to that. Connect back to that creativity within your mind, of that limitless, unlimited freedom of imagination. Let's say you wanted to manifest a new home. Picture that home in your head. Write it down. Draw a picture of what that home's going to look like. What is it going to have? What color are the walls? What's the house going to be made of? What's going to be surrounding the home? Really go back to the time where you were a kid and you wanted something, and you put all your energy into that drive into your manifestations. Your next one is going to be your Gabura, your Sephiroth of power, and then your Hod, the Sephiroth of your conscious mind. The minimum for the Gabura is 4, and then the minimum for the Hod is 5, and you've passed the Gabura 6 and the Hod 5 times. So again, very good. Again, your Gabura power, this is going to be like willpower, like how we mentioned within the main mission. So your willpower, and then the Hod, the conscious mind, your practical thoughts. To me, this is like a Delulu is not always the Salulu. Um, to me, this is being practical with the standards and the boundaries that you were placing. But also, let's say you're in a social setting, someone says something that makes you uncomfortable. You have that feeling. You're like, I don't want that person to do that. In your mind, you're coming up with, you don't like that. The feeling that comes with it. So practically in your mind, it's, how do I phrase this? Finding a practical way to bring that boundary into the physical realm. Finding a way to, in a way, say, hey, I did not like this. Let's not do it again. Period, point blank. But then also, the Gabrua, the power can also be limits, because it's like boundaries, but there are also limits that are being placed. So placing limitations in things like that, to me, it's like, don't place so many limits. So like I mentioned earlier with the Bina and the Chokma, unlimited thinking, unlimited imagination, unlimited thoughts, unlimited drive. Don't limit yourself so much. I feel like there's a lot of, or was a lot of, hey, you can't do this. Oh, let's say you wanted to be a pilot or a lawyer when you were a kid. Oh, I want to be a pilot or a lawyer. And then you have people constantly, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. But now limits are placed onto you mentally. And now you're like, oh my gosh, now I can't do it. But you can. You can do it. Next, you have your Yesod. And then that's your Sephiroth of ego. And then your Malkuth, your Sephiroth of body. The minimum for Malkuth is 4. Like we mentioned earlier, you've passed your Yesod 6 times. And you've passed your Malkuth 4 times. To me, this is another way of embracing who you are. So, to me, this is bringing, again, those desires and from the ego, the hidden desires, into the material realm. So, let's say you have a fear of the dark. What about the dark scares you? Where is that fear coming from? Something is like, let's say you've always wanted a tattoo. You wanted a tattoo. That is a desire. That is something that you want. What is stopping you? Go ahead and get the tattoo that you want. This is really straight and narrow. Don't be afraid to express yourself. Do not be afraid to show it within the physical form, within your body, within the material, within the 3D. Find that balance. Another way of embracing who you are. You don't have any hidden secondary missions. But we are going to go into your short-term crisis. So these are crises, just some like bumps in the road, some things to get some stagnant energy moving. Where short-term is going to happen like every few months or every 3 months. That these would be happening. So with this, you have your Tefroth, your sphere of love, and then your Chesed, your sphere of, your Tefroth, the sphere of self, and then Chesed, the sphere of love. You've passed the Tefroth 8 out of 8 times, and again your Chesed 6 out of 4 times. Just like this, it just makes a sentence within its own, is self-love. love yourself. So the Tefroth, when it mentions self, it's your internal spirit, who you truly are, who you really are, who you represent. This is your waking desires. This is the part of you that connects most to spirit. um, Passion and joy. Sorry. Yes. This is giving your passions and joy and finding light and love within this. Um so really sometimes sitting with yourself and just be like, who am I? What do I like? You can even play 20 questions with yourself. What color do I like? What's my favorite food? Where do I like to go? What do I like to do? Playing 20 questions with yourself in your soul, in your spirit, getting to know yourself can really help navigate who you are, how you want to do things, how you should be doing things to better have a more fulfilling life and experience here on this planet. You also have another short term crisis. So, self love could be like a touchy spot for you, something that you sometimes struggle with every now and then. And then you do have your nutsack, your emotions, and then your malkuth, your body. So the malkuth, you've passed it 4 out of 3 times, and your nutsack, 4 out of 5 times. I also struggle with this, connecting your emotions to the 3D. Connecting your emotions to your body, expressing yourself. So, like, let's say you're mad, you're angry, but it looks like you're sad because you're crying. But it's like your body's not understanding how to process or express that emotion. Or let's say, oh my gosh, you love to dance. It brings you so much passion. You know, you love it. You know, it makes your heart just swell with happiness and joy. But while you're dancing, you're just stone faced. Or that passion is not translating over out into the 3D. You only think about it, you only fantasize about it, but you're not actually doing it out here in the 3D. It just remains within your emotions. So finding inspiration can be hard, maybe. Again, going back to just expressing your emotions out here in the 3D world and really procrastinating on things. A long term crisis, so these would happen every several years, would be your Bina, creativity, and your Chokma, your wisdom. So you pass the Bina, this Sephiroth of creativity, 7 out of 4 times, and your Chokma 6 out of 4 times. Very nice, very nice. This is like, again, this goes back to your secondary mission. So it's also like a crisis. So this is something your soul definitely like struggles with. It's just connecting that drive to your manifestations, finding that unlimited creative mind and passion within yourself. And then you do have your Gabura, and then your Had, your conscious mind. You've passed the Had 5 out of 5 times, in your Gabura 6 out of 4 times. Again, this goes with your secondary mission. So your secondary missions and then your long-term crisis go hand in hand. um yeah, pretty much just connecting back to the not placing so many limits upon yourself, so many limitations placed within your mind, within your creativity, and within who you are. But then gonna go on to karma. So something that your soul wasn't able to achieve in like another lifetime. This is something that you know your soul hasn't worked on in past lives. So they present themselves as karma, things to be fixed. um, so first, connecting your Kether, your Sephiroth of divinity, and your Tefroth, your Sephiroth of self. You have passed your Kether 0 out of 3 times, and your Tefroth 8 out of 8 times. So you've worked on yourself by connecting yourself to source. So the Kether, divinity, that's source. That's who you are, connecting onto that higher mind, that intuitive, that magical part of you. You have not worked on that at all. Your soul has not worked on it. It's very practical, very down to earth, very intuition is not the strongest, not at all. So that could be presented as a problem, as karma for you in this life. It could be proven to be a struggle, which maybe is why sometimes you can struggle with certain things within yourself. Being able to follow like gut feelings and things like that is because you have now worked on that part of your soul. Your soul hasn't unlocked those achievements or those medallions yet. And then you have your Gabura, your Sephiroth of power, and then your Tefroth, self. Again, this is protecting yourself, your inner peace. I feel like this is what this is protecting yourself and your inner peace, but also kind of breaking yourself from the chains, like a break from the chains of just self-restriction and the restrictions of society and what they place upon you. And then your Had, your conscious mind, and then Malkuth, your body. Just like connecting your emotions to your body, bringing it to the 3D, you also struggle with bringing your conscious thoughts, your practical thoughts to the body, to the 3D. So, like, of course, common sense, everyone has it. Everyone has it. But within your soul, let's say your soul's like, hey, something about that isn't right. You're thinking it like you're watching someone do something absolutely foolish, but you just you can't find it within you to say something. Being practical within that, but also sort of like practical magic, being able to bring the gifts that your soul has out into the 3D is also something that you struggle with. And that is it for your karma. That is it for your main points for this reading. So before I head off and leave you with that, I'm just again gonna pull a tarot card for the energy, the ending energy for this reading. The Ace of Swords. So what I got for your Tree of Life is the Ace of Swords. Now, I do like reading from the book sometimes because with these, it connects to certain characters and certain stories and achievements that they have gone through. Let's see, where is it? Girl. Okay, Ace of Swords. So this is the Excalibur, King Arthur's sword. Welcome, power wielder. Excalibur cuts through mental clutter, confusion, and chaos to get to the essence of truth for a eureka strike of epic proportions. You feel invincible. Everything is sharp, your vision, decision making skills, and focus. The Ace of Swords Excalibur is the blade of breakthrough, slicing brain fogged clouds and clingy cobwebs that hold you back. But power, like every blade, is double edged. It can be utilized as a weapon for freedom or destruction, wielded wisely. So, this pretty much just goes back to finding that inner power within. the power that you wield it's a powerful thing. So in this life, being able to kill people with kindness. And what that means is, again, going back to your main mission of your Gabura, your power, and your Chesed, your love. Being able to find that healthy balance between placing these boundaries and sticking up for yourself. And finding that inner power within to be like, hey, this is what I'm doing, that's what I'm going with, but also being able to show love and care to others and being able to give out to others and also yourself. That is what I got today for your reading. Let me know if you have any other questions, if you need clarification on anything. And yeah, thank you for watching. Yes.